Hello. So I did watch all the videos. Of course, I did remember Stonewall forever. In our previous webcam discussion, how we discussed Stonewall and many other different factors that happened in the video. And of course, I did watch it, of course, again. And then, like I said beforehand, it did stood out to me. Of course, it was crazy how when it came to Stonewall and it came to everything, it's the fact of mainly of they were fighting for rights, but they wasn't fighting for everybody. And of course, when the transgender woman did come out to call out people, they were booing them. But at the end of the day, as we all know, when it comes to trans women, especially trans women of color, were the reason why of gay rights liberation. So, of course, our other video, when they talked about how the Senate and the government are trying to scare people of LGBTQ, trans, to basically spread lies and propaganda to make sure that people are saying this is bad, but at the same time, it is scaring even children who are LGBTQ plus IA plus and also trans kids as well. Like I remember last year when a 16-year-old trans woman ended up sadly getting murdered because she was trans. And just because of those rhetorics is putting harm out, which is very sad because at the end of the day, people want to be treated who they are. They want to be treated equal. They want to be human. And I hate the fact that the government are spreading propaganda to make people become scared, but it's causing a lot of harm and a lot of people to hide themselves so they can still be here. And then another thing I would like to talk about, I did write notes about, was the LGBTQ community will likely see significant effects from a second presidency, which goes into the second video of Trump's presidency as we see now. Depending on the administrational policy, judicial appointments, and federal protection status, an administration showing support could build upon existing protection for LGBTQ plus rights, make stronger anti-discrimination laws, and improve health care for the community. The presidency prevents a risk for rollback protection for vulnerable groups, blocking gender-affirming care, while enabling religious exemptions that allow discriminatory actions. The Supreme Court has had the power to determine LGBTQ plus rights for many decades, affecting marriages, equality, and workplace protection, and healthcare access cases through future appointments under federal agencies, guidance, state-level changes are likely in education, military services, and asylum right policies. State-level impacts are expected to build on or oppose or ignore federal-level directives regarding LGBTQ plus issues, which is what we're going into right now in 2025, which is basically part of Project 2025. And of course, the other video, of Billy Porter giving a brief history of queer political actions. A video that shows actors, singers, and activists. Well, Billy Porter, as the actor, singer, and activist, he does go into a brief history of course, Stonewall, which goes in about Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera of basically initiating gay liberation. But Billy Porter also goes into okay, Stonewall did happen, but we did also have other movements that happened that we didn't see into the limelight how Stonewall was. I say the one that really stood out to me was the Compton, California cafeteria riots, when the police ended up trying to drag the drag queen out of the cafeteria, which ended up the drag queen to throw coffee at him, which caused the food fight and the riots. That one really stood out to me because I really did not know about that. And of course, as they said, as Billy Porter said in the video, how it wasn't getting that much publicity. And Billy Porter discussed marriage equality before reaching his next topic about the 2015 U.S. Supreme Court decision establishing nationwide marriage rights for same-sex couples. But, it does go out to the message of basically, hey, we do have all of these other movements that have occurred as well, from how it was back then to how it is now, and how we are still fighting. And of course, we did discuss about the South and how in South Carolina, LGBTQ rights advocates sought a movement initiation despite the risk of losing friendships and family positions and protection through coming out. And it was very nice to see the founder, Harriet Hancock, to speak about how her son came out and how she was accepting, but she also was a little worried about people in the world, and how she made a safe space in South Carolina for both gay, lesbian, trans, and LGBTQIA plus community, and also which helped even cause made happen a protest back in 1990 when they all had to be covered in makeup, when they covered themselves in makeup, and also did end up going and marching for their rights. And that really stood out to me. So yeah.